Taurus, welcome to your reading. So I'm going to try to get through this faster than the other readings because I'm trying to figure out YouTube what works and what doesn't, and it seems like the shorter videos get more views. So we're going to try to keep this short and sweet and get to the point faster. I talk a lot. I talk too much. Please take a look at the description box below where there is a paragraph that explains in more detail the way I read. I read energy, not gender. That means anyone can show up as a king, queen, prince, princess, knight, page, whatever, emperor, empress, all of it. It's just the type of energy that you're in as it pertains to this particular situation. We all have masculine and feminine energy. It has nothing to do with our sexual preferences. We're all nurturing. We all need to get things done. So it just depends on the energy that we're in at that time. Energy is fluid. That means that the story can go back and forth, especially in a general reading. So if I'm saying, hey Taurus, why are you doing that? And you're like, no, that's my person. Just flip the energy. It happens all the time. And just understand the reading from the other perspective. I will read this as a love story. That doesn't mean that it has to be a love story. This can pertain to a friend, family member, coworker, work situation, whatever the situation is. Just apply it to your life if it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, please don't try to make it fit. It might just not be your week for a reading. What else? Part 1 of the reading. The extended version of it, where we'll get into more detail about what happened in the first part, will be available on the Vimeo link below. And if you'd like to have a personal reading scheduled with me, you can do so at my website below. This is thelighealing.com. Phew! Okay, Taurus, I'm super excited to get into this energy. I have a lot of Taurus energy too. I'm a Taurus Gemini cusp. I'm just 1 degree into Gemini. My birthday was supposed to be May 11th. That's 11 days late. I'm born on the 22nd. And so I have lots of Taurus energy, and my Mercury is also in Taurus. Some people say I have a Taurus voice, that your Mercury determines your voice. I don't know what that means, but I don't know why I said that. Maybe that's interesting to somebody that listens to this. Anyway, so let's get to the energy of what's come out so far. I've pulled oracles to show me the energy of the reading, and I'm digging it. There's a lot of movement here, a lot of action here, and it looks like, Taurus, like you learned something, like something has clicked, and I'm pretty excited about what I think it is. I think that you are starting to understand that you create the world that you live in, the world that you experience in your mind, and bring it into reality. So if you live in this lack mindset where you're always grieving something or sad or whatever that is, then that's the world that you're going to create. If you worry about not having enough money, well, then you're not going to have enough money. If you worry that you're never going to have love in your life, then you're never going to have love in your life. We are all children of God, and as such we have the inheritance of the ability to manifest, and we just get it in a tiny little dose at first, because we need to see how we manage that tiny little dose first. If we're going to run wild and wreak havoc in our lives, or if we're going to figure out how to use it to be happy. And it looks like you're figuring it out, that you're beginning to realize that that's exactly what you do, that whatever you think of most, if it's happiness, sadness, abundance, poverty, whatever it is, that you're starting to get it. And I think that you're also starting to understand that literally man is that he might have joy. That's one of the things that God has told us. And I mean, it's really time that we start taking God and his word more literally, no, he meant for us to be happy. We're not supposed to walk around being sad all the time. We're not supposed to walk around feeling defeated all the time. That's not a natural state for us to be in. We're not supposed to be there. That doesn't mean that it's never going to happen, but you know, healing is always available. Perspective is always available. Having, you know, good thoughts, positive thoughts is always available. And it looks like you're getting that. You're understanding that state of joy is something that was promised to you. You know, you're kind of getting it. And let's see what else is going on here. As you start to wake up to this really real reality, and I think for a lot of you, like, you know, at some point you might have read The Law of Attraction, or which fantastic things to read about, or The Secret, or things like that, that you might have read a book like that and have a general understanding of how it is that we manifest. But I think you're coming into this deeper understanding of how important mastering our minds really is. That, like, oh, no joke, they're being dead serious. Like, this isn't just how I manifest something. This is how I live my life. Like, it's that serious that I master my thoughts, because it's affecting my everyday life. And you're, like, getting it. And when you do, you're just, like, passionate about you. It renews your strength. It gives you hope. It, like, you're excited. You want to go, like, that you feel like, I think there's a part of you that feels like, why didn't I know this before? Like, why didn't I get this before? Like, I read that book 10 years ago. Why am I just now coming into a true understanding of what that meant? Probably because you had more lessons to learn. You're always right exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not late. But it is exciting that you're here, and I'm excited for you. There's someone or something here that you're very passionate about. For a lot of you, it's a relationship. It's another person. And when I say passionate, I mean passionate. Like that kind of passionate. What else? For some of you, the situation concerns a child. It can be a message about a child. And that one's just kind of random, so I don't know if it's going to come out more in the reading. There's also a lack mindset that if you're a masculine, there's a lack mindset that you've had about a woman that you're interested in. You know, it could be thoughts like, well, she's too good for me, or, you know, she would never love me, or, you know, whatever it is, but that you're allowing those thoughts to create a block between you and this woman. And I'm seeing her here, like, receptive. If you are a feminine, you may be in a lack mindset where you're thinking that you'll never have enough, or that you'll never have love, or that you'll never have, you know, a partner, or whatever that is. But either way, get out of those thoughts. You just really need to, every time you think them, you know, Brigham Young is a, well, he was a gruff leader, and one of the things that he said, and so, you know, sometimes I struggle with the things that he did, but other times I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what we needed. But one of the things that he taught people is whenever you have a negative thought, you send that thought right back to hell, because that's where it came from. And that's what we need to start doing with negative thoughts that come up, is just sending them right back to hell. Like, get out of here. You know, it's devilish. Get out of here. All right. Is that it? Are we good? Okay. And then this month, for the overall energy, I'm using Angels and Ancestors deck. And I loved that I got these two cards for you, Taurus. We got Earth Guardian, even though this guy's kind of creepy. Stay rooted and grounded. And then we also got Sky Father, which is trust in the unknown. And as I have studied energy, you know, the energies of the zodiac and the different gifts and skills and talents and things like that, I read this really interesting article that was about Taurus and how so many people think that, you know, Cancer or Scorpio or Pisces, you know, the water signs, are the most intuitive or the most psychic of the zodiac. And this author's opinion was that it's Taurus. And her reasoning was that Taurus is generally very grounded. And you can see where we've got this Earth Guardian. That was about staying grounded here. And because you're so grounded, because you're so stable, because you're so rooted in tradition and rooted in, you know, just, we're going to do what's right. We're going to do it the way we're supposed to do it. Because you're so grounded and rooted in that you can tolerate more, it says trust in the unknown, but more intense spiritual experiences. I know for me, I've seen angels while I'm wide awake. I've seen people that have passed away, and they've talked to me while I'm wide awake. And I'm not going to say it seemed completely normal, because it definitely didn't. And they were people I love, you know, the people I would want to see most, but it was still like, oh, am I crazy? But because we're so rooted and grounded, you know, if that was a water sign, they might, you know, freak out, you know, and start getting in their head and get depressed or get weirded out. But as a Taurus, I was just kind of like, all right. And we can just kind of roll with it. So, all right, I've already talked too much. Let's get into the situation and see what's actually going on. The first thing I want to see is how you are feeling. How Taurus is feeling. Stronger than you've been feeling, more open, more receptive. Not feeling so stuck anymore. How's Taurus feeling? What is Taurus's mood? Yeah, that's too many, please. How's Taurus feeling? What is Taurus's mood, please? Just gonna take the one that fell first. Faith. Got it. Yes, Taurus, yes. Aries just had a really good reading, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like a good week for me. Love it. Here for it. Let's do it. What is the situation here for Taurus? What's the situation concerning... You know, I mean, it makes sense that you'd be, you know, that your mood would be faith right now, because if this is what you're doing, if this is what you're learning, you know, and you're coming into this understanding, that would create, you know, a renewed faith. Another thing that I was picking up when I was doing that is like, once you got it, once you understand this, once you have this new understanding, you want to tell everybody. You want to tell everybody. You want to share it. You want to share it. You want to share it. And I think that is so great. You know, Taurus, your Emperor, Empress energy, just, you know, the mother, the father, the teacher, the nurturers, the providers, the protectors. You're ruled by Venus, your love. All right, what is the situation here, please? I'm excited. I'm excited that faith came out for your mood. Excited to see that there's movement here. Oop. Four Pentacles in reverse. Being more open, more receptive. When Four Pentacles is upright, well, you can see he looks kind of greedy, like he's just holding on to everything. But when it's in reverse, it's more an energy of being receptive, being open, not a lack mentality. Four Pentacles, when it's upright, is definitely a lack mentality, thinking I won't have enough, so I can't share, I can't, you know, live in an energy of abundance. I've got to, you know, be greedy, be less generous. Tell me more about the situation for Taurus, please. Okay. So again, for the situation, we've got this Four of Pentacles. We've got this Four of Pentacles in reverse, so you're more open, more receptive. And then we have the Ten of Wands and the Eight of Wands. And this is about, the Eight of Wands is about movement, which we've already seen a lot of movement, that fast movement forward. The Ten of Wands can be a burden, but more often it is a long road, a ways to go. It can be indicative of a long relationship. So this could be that you're ready to communicate about committing to a long relationship, or you're thinking about it. That you realize it can be difficult, but you still want to go down that path. So you're open to long-term commitment is what I'm getting. You're open to long-term commitment and you're willing to discuss it. You're ready to discuss it. And then we have the World and Justice in reverse. And I immediately got, the World is the ending and the beginning of a new cycle. So something has come to an end and something new is beginning. And this energy is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Pardon me. It's Thanksgiving Day. And I didn't really get up all that early, but I cooked all day and I'm tired. Sorry. So this is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius energy, the fixed signs, the stubborns, including you, of the zodiac. And then we have Justice in reverse. And this is Libra energy. So, you know, being more open, being more receptive to something long-term, to commitment, to things like that, because you brought an end to this type of thinking, I think, for a lot of you, that you've ended the cycle of thinking things wouldn't be fair, or thinking that life didn't have anything good for you, that it wouldn't be balanced, that you've brought this sort of thinking to an end. But this is also a new beginning with a Libra that you may have left in reverse. Just saying. You could actually also, Taurus, have Libra in your chart, and you're bringing an end to this energy in yourself, or you're going back to a Libra that you left in that energy. Interesting, interesting, interesting. What is the obstacle here for Taurus, please? Someone you feel like you're supposed to help. The sharp words that you would have to endure if you didn't any longer. I don't think this is someone that needs help, it's just someone that takes advantage of your willingness to help, maybe. What's the obstacle here for Taurus, please? What's the obstacle here for Taurus, please? Whoa. What's the obstacle here for Taurus, please? obstacle for Taurus, please? What's the obstacle for Taurus, please? Oops. Okay, the obstacle is Five of Cups in reverse. We're going to get some more on that. I got a little distracted because I was looking at the oracles, and when we talked about how a child might be part of it, that could be the situation for some of you because I said it a minute. But also I think that you could be recalling childhood patterns, traumas, toxic situations that kept you in this more low vibrational sort of energy for too long, and that's what you're starting to recognize too. Okay, for the obstacle here, now we have the Wheel of Fortune upright. So we've got Five of Cups in reverse, which is coming out of this lack mentality, which is bringing you into Wheel of Fortune upright, which is great. That as you come out of that lack mentality, of course the wheel, of fortune's going to turn forward for you. And then we have the Six of Wands in reverse. When the Six of Wands is upright, this can be a energy of victory. So upside down, it would be victorious. But this is also the card of false victories. In reverse, I'm really getting an energy of you no longer putting on a I want to say false bravado, but that doesn't feel right. Maybe that feels right for some of you. But I think for a lot of you in the past, you've been acting like, no, everything's good. Like it's Six of Wands upright. Like, no, good, yeah. No, all good, I'm fantastic. Everything's perfect. Six of Wands in reverse isn't like, in this case at least, not, crying like, oh, my life sucks or anything. It's more like you owning it like, yeah, I had a rough week, but, things are looking better this week. And just being a little more transparent, a little more authentic and transparent. Because upright, this can be, sort of a condescending, not even condescending, but to someone that acts like things are better than they are, that they're more than they are, or things are going better than they actually are. Sorry, Taurus. So yeah, as you come out of this lack mentality, the wheel starts to turn your way, especially when you're more transparent, when you're more authentic. And I think that that's part of when we talked about how you're learning something and you're so excited to teach it to others, that you realize that you can be transparent, you can be authentic. It doesn't take anything away from you. And if anything else, it helps others to realize that they're not alone in their struggles, and that their struggles won't hold them down unless they allow them to. So I think as you become more transparent, that you're beginning to teach others, which makes complete sense to me. How's the obstacle though? That you're doing this. Now, okay, so it read me ahead. So what I did was I read too much into the situation. So the situation was being more open to commitment and communicating about it. And then the obstacle was this cycle that ended with a Libra. It does still have those other meanings, but I think this is a cycle that ended with the Libra and didn't end well. For me, this particular card in this deck is Gemini too. This can also be a Gemini because you can see there's the two of them there. And they're just, yeah, just the symmetry of it. And then the energy to embrace, to overcome this, is to come out of this Five of Cups energy, this lack mentality. The wheel starts to go in your favor and you become more transparent, more authentic, all of that. So we're going to go ahead and leave the reading here. When you click on the Vimeo link below and join me there for the rest of the reading, we're going to read about what's the potential outcome when you do this. When you get out of this lack mentality and you realize that the universe really is on your side, that it really does always want to work with you depending on the way that you think, and you become more authentic and transparent, what is the potential outcome for you? I also want to clarify a little bit on this energy, this obstacle energy of the world and justice in reverse. I want to see what that's about, if it's about a person and relationship or a different situation. So we're going to do that there as well. So yeah, we're going to get the potential outcome for you. We're going to figure out what that was about. I want to see too, we're going to clarify on the Spade card for your mood. I want to see more specifically what that's about, and then we'll get some advice for you. So thank you for coming to your reading, Taurus. Be sure to click on the Vimeo link below, and I'll see you there. Thank you. Taurus.